Hello, you are welcome to the big one. Arsenal will be taking on Bayern Munich. The two most informed team in this year's Champions League. They both have 12 points. Arsenal, they've won all their four games. Bayern Munich, they've won all their four games. Then in their league, Bayern Munich, they are topping the Bundesliga league, while in the EPL, Arsenal, they are topping the Premiership currently. And not just that they are topping the Premiership, the closest team to them, I think they are leading that team by 6 points. And that is a big one. We are currently in form. We are playing very well, playing very good football from defense to midfield to attack. And we'll be taking on Bayern Munich, which I believe that is the most informed team in this year's Champions League. The game against the PSG, oh my God. That game, I watched the game, I saw what Bayern Munich did, and I said, no, even before that game, I actually previewed the game and I told Kenny that I don't see PSG defeating Bayern Munich. That at worst it will end in a draw, and it ended in a win in favor of Bayern Munich. That game had a lot of talking points. Hakimi got injured in that game. PSG, they had a man sent off also in that game. Same with Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz too was sent off, so the game became balanced 10 over 10. But at the end, Bayern Munich, they won the game. So this one is going to be a tough game. So Abiola, I want you to help us to analyze the game. Bayern, Arsenal will be playing at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. In that game, what do you think will happen in that game?
It's really a great encounter that I'm looking forward to. In this kind of matches, this is why we love the Champions League. These are the kind of matches we want to see on the big stages. And I mean, I believe it's really hard. It's really hard to pick a team to win because they are both in great form. Bayern, I mean, it's been a wonderful season for them so far. I think they only just drew last match, which ended their winning streak. But then that their attack is just something else. Their midfield, their full backs, the way company has switched right back to left back and left back to right back. His defense is something else. I mean, and Arsenal on the other end, you know what their defense is like, you know what their midfield is like, and now they've gotten that balance between everything: good defense, good midfield, good attack, and a very good bench. So you really can't put anything past either of the two teams. It's a great encounter I'm looking forward to. But I think Bayern will just edge it. I think they'll just edge it because they won't stop attacking. And I know us now.
Objection,
I know you're an
I was
Arsenal
I
fan.
was expecting that.
I know you're an Arsenal fan, but I just think even Hurricane does not like Arsenal. So it's going to make sure he puts on a shift. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Bayern for this match. I know Arsenal can come up with goals from set pieces from anywhere, but then I just feel Arsenal in open play against big teams, they don't really score a lot of goals in open play. With set pieces, they are very dangerous. But I also think Bayern Munich, they have the assets to be able to counter them, even if they can't fully hold Arsenal back. But I think they'll be able to manage it. And I think I'll just say Bayern will edge it maybe by 2-1.
Okay. Coach.
Yeah. The thing the thing is, I know how Arsenal fans will probably feel about this because I think in Europe right now, Arsenal is one of the best teams currently defensively. There's one thing I like about this Arsenal side is the fact that they don't concede goals. That's one thing I like. It's a very compact side, and against big teams, they are very good as well. They do not con. They hardly concede. They hardly concede. But then looking at the sides they are playing, you are playing a Bayern Munich who is currently in the form of their life. Luis Diaz is running. Did you see his goal last week? I think that should be one
Crazy
of the
goal.
best goals of the season. Like the season has only just started, but that goal might just be the best goal of the season. Kane is firing, and everyone seems to be on form. Everyone seems to be motivated. I think if you look at Bayern Munich, you want to believe that this is the team to beat. This they beat PSG with 10 men, and that was at Paris, I think. So
Yeah.
you want to respect what they are doing. Let's look at Arsenal in general. They've been like this for the past 2 seasons. They've been very good defensive, they don't concede. But then let's ask ourselves, what have they won? They haven't won a trophy or a significant trophy like this because of moments like this, because of times like this, because of moments like this where you show up against teams like this. I still want to believe that as much as Arsenal are good and they are doing well, and I feel like I would want them to do something. I would want Arsenal to win the Champions League this season. I was asking an Arsenal fan, would you rather win the Champions League or win the Premier League? He said he would want to win the Premier League. But I was like, I would want Arsenal to win the Champions League this season. But then I still feel like in a match like this, because it's at the Emirates, I'm probably going to say it might end in a draw. But if I'm forced to pick a winner, I'm probably going to go Bayern.
2 against 1. 2 against 1. Don't forget we have Gukeres. We have
No, I mean Gyökeres is
Eberechi.
good. Is
There
good,
is
No,
but
Bukayo Saka.
I just
no.
don't think
Oh my God! I should call them
it's
for
going
you,
to
and they
be
are
I
informed.
think
strong
I
in that
think
match.
there's a little. I think Bayern there's a little step ahead. They're a little step
Yeah,
ahead.
just
It's just that
there's just
little.
that
There's
little
something.
bit that
There's
you
just
just
something
feel.
you just know. You just know. Yeah, I can't explain, but it's just like they're a little step ahead. That's what
But we
I
are
think.
playing at home.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter in Europe these days. PSG lost at home to Bayern.
I don't agree with both of you.
Bayern Munich, they seem to I mean their lineup of matches in the Champions League this season, they seem to have quite a number of big teams that they are facing, and they've been quite consistent. That's I just feel they'll edge it slightly.
That they will defeat
Arsenal,
Arsenal.
yeah, yeah.
No. I don't think. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
expect you to agree as well.
No, I can't. I cannot agree to this one. We are topping the Premiership by 6 points. We have defeated big teams in this year's Premiership
Peter, sorry
league.
to cut you. Will
And,
Arsenal win the Premier League?
what if we
Premier
can
League.
win the Premier League?
No. Not if you can win. Will you win the Premier League
Well,
this season?
I'll come up with my prediction by the end of January, not now. By the end of January.
That's
By the
why.
end of
That's why
January.
Bayern. That's why we are giving Bayern the edge. You see,
By
there's something you
January, I will
feel as
come up
well.
with my
You
prediction.
are topping the
By
league with
January.
6 points. You are topping the league with 6 points, but you are not even confident to say it. There's something you
No,
feel.
not that
You
I'm
know
not
there is just
confident.
that little stuff.
No, not that I'm not confident. Not that I'm not confident. We all know my team. We all know that we might be leading somehow, just here on the table. Before you know, another team will come and take over. But then I don't want to use that. But what I'm just trying to say, I want to give them from now till January. I'm fully confident about this team. You know, we have a very balanced squad this time. We have a good bench, unlike previous season. Previous season, you know, we had a lot of injuries, and then there was no bench and there was no depth in the team, and we didn't have a striker. You know, but now we have a world-class striker, Gukeres. You know, and Gabriel Jesus. I'm sure by December he will be back from injury. You know, and we have a good bench. So I think that we have a chance in this year's Premiership. You know, Liverpool, they are not doing very well. They're currently in trouble. So the only team I feel or I think that will give us a little problem in this year's Premiership, it's Manchester City, because you can see they are coming up. But Chelsea, they are inconsistent. They win 2 games today, tomorrow they draw or they lose. You know, I would have suggested Liverpool will give us a strong run for our money, but Liverpool, the coach seems to be very confused right now. You know, he doesn't even know his first striker. Doesn't know whether to use Isak or to use Ekitike. You know, he's very confused. He doesn't know his first 11. That's another thing about Liverpool. So I'm going for Arsenal. So the game Bayern Munich against Arsenal, I believe that Arsenal will defeat Bayern Munich. Strongly believe that. Then we have Atletico Madrid versus Inter Milan. Inter Milan, they got to the final of last year's UEFA Champions League. And they were, oh my God, they were humiliated in the final by PSG. And it was unexpected, you know. So they'll be taking on Atletico Madrid. Diego Simone, the man that usually loves to pack the bus. So, and they'll be playing at home in Spain, in Madrid. So, I don't know. What do you think about that game? Atletico Madrid versus Inter Milan. Atletico will be playing at home.
Haram football.
Haram football.
They
Why
are
do you
going
say
to,
haram? Why do you say haram
it's
football?
going to be a compact.
Eh?
No, when you see Inter Milan playing Atletico Madrid is almost like Inter Milan playing against Inter Milan or Atletico Madrid play. It's going to look like a training match. if Diego Simeone was going to leave Atletico Madrid right now, which club would you foresee him going to? It seemed like Inter Milan. I think they're a bit similar. They look alike. They are defensive, a very good defensive side. But there's something I like about Inter Milan. I like their attack. I like the dynamics they have. They got different dynamics in attack, and it gives them an edge. It makes them they are so dangerous. They are so dangerous. And Atletico Madrid, a very good side. Of course, they've got firepower of their own, but then inconsistency is another factor as well with Atletico. They beat Real Madrid 5 days week. They go collect five, concede five from 4 from Arsenal the next week. So they are not so consistent. If you probably want to look at the Champions League pedigree and everything and form and the last season as well, and even this season as well, I think I'm going to give it to Inter Milan. Yeah, or probably it's going to be, if I have to, I'm still going to give it to Inter Milan or a draw. I think for the bookmakers, Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid, I think most people are going to go for a draw.
But Inter Milan, they are not doing very well in their league. They are not in first or second position in their league currently.
But in the Champions League, they are, right?
In the Champions League, yes. In the Champions League, yes, they are doing very well in the Champions League. They have won all their 4 games in this year's Champions League. They are doing very well in this year's Champions League. But the team they have met, they are smaller
matches.
Teams. I think this is the strongest team that they'll be meeting, Atletico Madrid so far. So they've won all their 4 games. They are in the automatic qualification slot so far. They have 12 points. While Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, Atletico Madrid, they are in the 17th position. So Atletico Madrid, they've won 2 games and they have lost 1. So Atletico Madrid, I think Atletico Madrid, they've been they've played more difficult games compared to Inter Milan. They played the Arsenal and they were walloped by Arsenal by 4 goals to 0 in this year's Champions League. They have only been defeated by Arsenal. They played at Eintracht Frankfurt. They defeated Eintracht Frankfurt 5 goals to 1. And their last game, they played against Union Saint-Gilloise, and they defeated Union Saint-Gilloise by 3 goals to 1. So what's your take? Atletico Madrid playing Inter Milan.
I expect Inter Milan to win. Atletico Madrid have not been in the best form this season. Like Coach Johnny said, they've been very, very inconsistent. And I think that has just been the story for Simeone over the last couple of seasons. Apart from the season when they won the league. But in the last couple of seasons, they've been very, very inconsistent. Inter Milan, on the other hand, they've been fairly consistent. Just last season, they were finalists in the Champions League. I know they did have a change of coach and they're not doing well in their league this season, but player to player, style to style, I just think that Inter Milan attack, there's always a dynamic to it, and it's that dynamism that they always use to balance the defensive side of their team. So I just believe Inter Milan will be able to win this match. I'll be saying maybe 3-1.
Inter are playing away to Atletico Madrid.
Wanda Metropolitano, yeah, I know.
It doesn't matter.
I know. Yeah, but
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
against
matter.
Against the park at the boss coach.
The thing is this. Yeah. If Simeone was playing away, right, the fans will support him playing a defensive system. But once he's playing at Wanda Metropolitano, they do not expect him to play a defensive system. They expect him to play, at most, be balanced. Okay, you are going to defend in phases of the match, but overall, they expect him to play like at least try and attack very well. They won't expect him to play a very, very defensive system. So that's why I said it doesn't really matter that it's at Wanda. If Inter Milan should take the lead, I think they're just going to win. I just feel so.
Yeah, you feel Inter Milan will win.
Yeah.
And Coach Johnny also said same thing. Say Inter Milan, he sees Inter Milan winning that game.
Yeah.
I don't think Inter Milan will defeat Atletico Madrid at home. Oh, no. I beg to differ.
It's mostly because they've been very inconsistent. And
no, they've not been very inconsistent. They won their 2 last games. Atletico Madrid won their 2 last games.
Used to be. We do say, okay, yes, Simeone is a very defensive coach, and the team is always defensive. But if you look at that defense, they don't really have that defense like they
They
used to.
concede. Yeah, they
So
concede.
yeah, they play a defensive system, but they don't
But they
really have
concede.
those players that Simeone used to have to play that system. So yeah, even if they play a defensive system, they still concede with the defensive system. So that's why I just feel Inter will win.
Okay, quickly, we'll look at the game between PSG versus Tottenham. PSG will be playing Tottenham. PSG will be playing at home at the Park at the Princes against Tottenham. So PSG, they are the defending champions of the UEFA Champions League. They lost at home in their previous game against Bayern Munich. So they'll be playing at home against Tottenham. Tottenham so far in this year's Champions League, they've been doing very well. Tottenham, I think on the league table, they are currently in the qualification spot. They are in 10th position currently with 8 points. 8 points so far by Tottenham. They've won 2 games and they have drawn 2 games. So it means that they have not lost any game so far in this year's Champions League. And they have played the FC Copenhagen. Their last game was against FC Copenhagen. They defeated FC Copenhagen by 4-0. Then they also played AS Monaco. They drew with AS Monaco away in France, 0-0. Then they also played Bordeaux Glimt away. They drew with Bordeaux Glimt 2-2. Then their first game, they played against Villarreal. They defeated Villarreal by 1-0. So I think this is their first real game that they'll be playing, against PSG. So what do you think, Coach Johnny? Tottenham against PSG, the defending
Yeah, that's
champions,
a,
champion.
a repeat of the Super Cup we had earlier this season. And
Oh. They played
yeah,
the Super
the
Cup.
Super
Oh, who
Cup,
won that
yeah,
game?
earlier. PSG did. Tottenham were winning, I think, towards the end of the match. PSG
Yeah.
popped up with some
Okay,
late goals. Yeah.
yes.
So, but bearing how the season has gone so far, and then looking at the last result from PSG, playing in France as well, you expect PSG to carry the day. And if you look at Tottenham as well, it's not like they've been so fantastic. And just like you said earlier, look at the teams they played. It's not like they played very
No,
good
they've
sides.
not
Yes,
played big
they
team.
yeah. So you want to think this is going to be, honestly, with all due respect to Tottenham supporters,
It's going
I
to
think
be
you want to
easy.
be, you want to see this as an easy one for PSG. Like I see multiple goals. I see goals.
You see goals. uh, well, I believe you. I know that it's not going to be easy game for Tottenham. I see PSG defeating Tottenham. Yeah, it's going to be an easy game for PSG because they are going to use the anger. You understand from the loss they had against Bayern Munich. They are going to use it against Tottenham because it's a must-win game for them because currently they are not. They are not in a very good position in the automatic qualification spot. They have 9 points, and we have several teams that have 9 points. We have Newcastle, we have Real Madrid, we have Liverpool, we have Galatasaray. So it's shaky for them. So I'm sure it's a must-win game for them. So I think they will defeat Tottenham. But that massacre you are looking for, I don't think you will get it. Abiola, so what do you think about that game?
I mean, for me, I think it's going to be a balanced game. I don't expect it to be very easy for PSG. I know they have this very good attack, very balanced team. But also, I think Thomas Frank, the Tottenham coach, he always finds a way to balance his defense and midfield, and just leave everything out in attack. They still have. Oh, I think they are missing Kudus. Pardon me, it's going to be a massacre. Because
So you
I
have you
mean,
have agreed with Abiola that it's going to be a
I think
massacre.
I mean without Kudus, they don't have anything else in attack. Even Kolomwani is out, so they only have Odobert. They have
Oh,
Tel. Yeah, he had a very serious injury, I think, their last match. So they only have Tel, Odobert, Johnson. I don't think Kulusevski is back. So they're really light in that. Okay, they still have Richarlison,
It should be back. It should be back. It should be back by then.
Richarlison hasn't even been
but you
starting
don't
for
expect
them.
those players to trouble that PSG defense.
They
So
still they still got Richarlison.
yeah, that's what I'm
Hasn't
saying.
been
I mentioned Richard.
starting.
You don't expect them to really. I mean, they can score the odd goal, but you don't expect them to really, really trouble PSG defense like that. So yeah, maybe not a massacre like 5-0 massacre, but I think a decent 4-1, 3-0 win. I think.
Descent for one.
Man, decent 4-1. Your prediction, eh?
Worse
You
than
bad.
mine.
It's 4-1
Yeah,
decent. It's
I
4-1
think
decent.
I
Decent
think they'll beat them.
4-1.
Also, like you said, because they lost their last match against Bayern Munich, they know this is a must win. And PSG, they don't get tired of scoring. They're like Hansi Flick. You score one, you go for the second one. You score the
But
second one, you go for the third one. You score the third, you go for the fourth. Luis
but
Enrique always wants more as well.
don't forget that Hakimi, they'll be missing Hakimi, and they will also be missing Dembele as well. Dembele
I
had
mean, you still
red
expect
card,
PSG to
and
just
Hakimi is currently injured. So those are two of their key players.
yeah. For me, I think
I,
it's PSG.
I still don't think it will really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Into
It
one side,
doesn't.
yeah,
Mm.
you're right. Yeah. Oh, thank you, guys. I believe that PSG will defeat Tottenham in that game. So it's a straight win for PSG. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Abiola, and thank you, Coach Johnny. Dear viewers, we thank you for staying tuned to our YouTube channel. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment on all our posts. We want to hear your views. Thank you. Goodbye and see you on our next video.